Hey, what's up? Are you also confused about giving USMLE, whether to give it in third year or intern year, what to study, when to study? If yes, you're at the right channel and the right video now. Hello, Sat Shri Akal. My name is Kriti Dhamija and I'm from Ludhiana. I did my MBBS recently from SMS Medical College, Jaipur. I gave my USMLE Step 1 on 13th of April 2021 and received a score of 256. Well, yes, I'm from Punjab and I don't want to go to Canada, as people call it here. A little disclaimer, I'm a slow learner, so my journey is not so small, as I believe that it's not how fast or how slow you are, but rather your consistency and the hard work that you're gonna put into it. So just guys, keep on telling to yourself that it's very easy, and if others can do this, then why can't you? So guys, the first step of anything that you want to do is to decide that you're gonna do this. And I know making this decision about giving USMLE is really a tough one, and that was the case for me also, since most of my friends, rather literally all of my friends, were going to give NEET and were preparing for the NEET exam, that is the Indian medical exam for the post-graduation, and therefore sailing in a different boat for me wasn't very easy. So what I did was, at first I discussed this with my family, and being the first doctor in my family, I did not have much people from the medical field in my own family, to confide into. So rather I just went to talk to some random doctors in my city, and based on what pros and cons they told me about this, I decided that USMLE it is. So really, I want to suggest you that making a decision in the early part of your journey is very important, and then sticking to that decision firmly, this will really help you a very long way. So first, why step 1 in my internship year? So as advised by most of my seniors and friends, I had decided right back in the second year of my college to write step 1 at the end of my internship, and it proved right for me. The basic logic behind this was, as 98% of the questions on the boards are going to be clinical vignettes. So to diagnose them, I wanted to be well versed with medicine. So that's what I did. I focused on studying medicine in the final year of my college in a very conceptual way that really helped me later on. Also, I didn't want to compromise on my profs, so rather I spent time building my concepts and my basics stronger, because that's what step 1 is going to be about. It's going to test you on the very basic concepts of every disease that's going to come across you. Also, secondly, I wanted to do things during my college years that could add up to my CV, and not to mention, it gave me some time to enjoy my college life as well. So the concept of study partners, like I told you before, I had almost no one who was following the same study timeline as mine. So yes, studying for such an exam all by yourself and all alone does become difficult at times. So what I did, I used to join some random WhatsApp groups, and they had people from all around the globe who were preparing for step 1. So I made a few friends, like one was from Vietnam, one from Canada, and what we used to do, we used to discuss the topics that we were studying, and we used to solve each other's doubts and ask questions from each other about the subjects that we were going through. So yes, having a study partner really helped me through my journey. I could also track my progress from that, because we used to ask questions from each other and give some papers together, and rather so yes, I really believe that having a study partner is really worth it at times. So what did I do regarding USMLE step 1 preparation during my college years? Frankly, I did very less of it during my college years. I just went through some of the Kaplan video lectures and notes in the subjects that I knew I was weak in, and those that were highly recommended to me by my seniors. To mention, these were anatomy, pharmacology, biochemistry and neuroscience. And guys, any day I would really put forward biochemistry and neuroscience, because this guy Dr. Turco, he explains biochemistry in such a funny way and makes it very conceptual and interesting that you cannot get bored from it, as we used to do in the first year of our Indian medical colleges. And neuroscience, that was the subject that made me fall in love with neurology. So as you know, it's called neuroscience and not neuroanatomy, as we call it here in Indian medical colleges. So guys, really, even if you're not preparing for USMLE, I would highly recommend you to just go through the videos of neuroscience and biochemistry. They will really help you a lot. And also, very rarely I used to browse first aid just for the minor subjects, not for the big systems and like cardio, etc. I suppose I did dermatology for my final prof. I used to go through the dermatology part of first aid very superficially. The dedicated period timeline, it's for me, the dedicated period started in my internship, but it wasn't so dedicated. What I did was I started with Kaplan Physiology, again the video lectures as well as the notes, and I did physiology because I knew that I did not understand most of the concepts in physiology that well, so I wanted to go through it. And as I entered that study era again, then I knew that it was the time for first aid, the golden resource. So guys, the number one rule about first aid is to buy the latest edition available in the market. You may use a hard copy, or you may use a PDF in your iPad or laptop, whatever you find comfortable, but it should always be the latest edition. As I was going through the first aid for the first time, I used Kaplan and sometimes BNB as well in a retrograde manner. Like if I was going through respiration and respiratory system and I did not understand some VQ mismatch concept or any other concept for that matter, I used to go back to Kaplan or BNB or any other resource possible just to understand that. Because guys, you have to understand everything that's given in that book, because understanding that the concepts in first aid is so important, because that's what the exam's gonna test you upon, and therefore you need to know the reason of everything happening in that book. So guys, do not cram up this book called first aid. First of all, understand it. Understanding is going to be the first step always and always, and then you need to start learning it. Because and also I would really recommend that you may go back to your concepts, you may go back to first aid n number of times. The only thing that matters at the end is how well versed are you with your basics, with your first aid. So because the time you're going to invest into this resource is going to pay you back more than that you expect from it. So along with my first pass of first aid, I've also read Pathoma by both the video lectures as well as the notes. And this man called Dr. Hussain Sattar, he will do anything and everything to make you understand pathology in a way like never before. And these things that were taught to me by him, they got stuck into my mind so well that I didn't even feel the need to revise them. So guys, you must give it a shot. So alongside this were my hospital duties, which were not so hectic. So I used to squeeze out some time from them, and I used to see the sketchy videos sometimes during my duties. Obviously when I had some time some free time at my hand during them, and especially this sketchy farm part, not so much of micro, because I was I knew the micro part pretty well and I didn't want to spend more time on that, but the sketchy farm part, that was really helpful for me, particularly in some drugs that I used to hate during my college times. I could learn them in a better way and in a funny way rather. So it was really helpful for me. So for all the study resources as well as the practice resources, we'll be coming up with a separate video very soon. So stay tuned guys. So after I was done with first aid 1 or 2 times, I knew it was the time to practice some question banks, but I wanted to keep UWorld sort of sacred rather than directly jumping into it. So I rather bought a 3-month subscription of another question bank called USMLE RX. The purpose, and I solved it in a system-wise manner. The purpose was to gain the mindset that is required to solve the questions on the boards, and that's why I bought it. And another added benefit of USMLE RX was that it is written by the first aid team itself. So it helped me retain the concepts given in the first aid in a better manner. So the pro tip for RX is that do not annotate much from USMLE RX into your first aid. that's not needed, and UWorld will serve the very basic purpose of this annotation thing. And secondly, if you want, if you feel the need, like to copy down some material, you feel that something's extra that may come up in the form of a question later on, then you may copy paste the matter given in the RX onto some Word document into your laptop or computer, and that will save a hell lot of time, guys. So here comes the star resource, UWorld. UWorld is that resource which will need your utmost focus and attention. Secondly, UWorld will test you on very basic concepts that we usually tend to ignore during passive studying. So in any case, you cannot ignore it, you cannot bypass it. How I solved UWorld was in a random and timed manner from the very first day of UWorld, because that's how the exam is going to look like. That's how you need to develop the practice of solving the questions. So there's no second option even in this. You have to do it in random and timed mode if you want to get a very good score like in the 250s or even above. Then also UWorld will explain some of the concepts that won't be there in your first aid, but you have to jot them down into your first aid. So you may use sticky notes, colored pens, or any other fancy thing available in the market to make this process an interesting one. Also, another important aspect of this annotation thing is that you need to club up all the information, the extra information as well as that given in first aid on the same page. For example, let's talk about cardiac tamponade. The first aid explains the basic triad of cardiac tamponade, but UWorld is going to add some more points about cardiac tamponade, so you need to annotate all those extra points on the same page, so that as many times you revise first aid, the same number of times the extra information gets revised. Also, don't forget to write the extra information in the form of line diagrams or flowcharts rather than using the whole paragraphs, because they will become difficult to revise later on. And one more thing, making an extra register or an extra copy for all the extra information of UWorld is totally contraindicated. I know several people who did that, but they could not revise it at the end, so that's a sheer wastage of time. Also, just keep on revising your first aid alongside your UWorld. You can do the same question that appears on UWorld from the first aid and then review the explanations, because that will help you retain first aid in a better way. And also, sometimes what I used to do was that I would start my day with studying 10 pages of first aid, and then I used to solve a block of UWorld, so as to maintain just a healthy relationship with first aid alongside solving UWorld. And the more you revise, the better you are. And this is my success mantra, if you may call it, that the more you revise, the quicker you will choose the right answer on the exam day. Another pro tip of UWorld, which I did not see anyone else using, is that being doctors, we sometimes get confused with our own handwriting and let alone abbreviations. So what I did was that I used to write the QID of the questions that I annotated from UWorld onto my first aid. So if I would get confused by what I had written in the past in my first aid, then I would just type the QID of that particular annotated material into the search option of UWorld, and the whole question would pop up in front of me. So that saved literally much time at the end. Since August 2020, and due to the cancellation of Step 2 CS, the USMLE Step 1 exam is asking more and more questions about ethics and communication. Actually, my exam had more of communication rather than sole ethics, and most of the questions that appeared on my exam were quite similar to those on UWorld. So just don't get scared of it. You'll have a lot to practice this. But what I did was that I solved that 100 Cases of Ethics by Conrad Fisher, the famous book. And this book really helps you gain an insight about the American Ethics Society and their rules and guidelines, which are very new for the Indian students, or for that matter any international medical graduate. But just remember that rather than reading this book again and again, try practicing more questions. You can solve different question banks of ethics, and just gain that particular mindset that is required to solve these ethics questions. So I started giving my NBMEs when I had done about 80% of my UWorld. The basic reason behind this was that I wanted to know where I was standing in that 3-digit scoring system. Between my NBMEs, I kept on revising my first aid again and again, particularly my weaker subjects, and also solving rest of the UWorld. What I feel about these NBMEs is that it doesn't matter how difficult your last NBME was or how steep its curve was, but because these exams give a 3-digit predictive score and not the exact score, therefore if you're working hard, your graph will always keep on rising upward. What I did in the last 20 days before my exam, so in this particular time I was just revising my first aid again and again because I did not want to take any chance with my main exam. Also, I was solving AMBUS question bank, just 15 to 20 questions per day, and the only purpose of AMBUS was to not lose the question solving momentum and nothing else, because I was quite satisfied with UWorld, and also I gave some self-assessments as shown before. What my real exam looked like. So guys, my real exam was not as short and simple like NBME. It was rather an exact replica of 7 UWorld blocks put together. So as I said before, solve UWorld with maximum dedication and pay the maximum focus to it. So my last and also the main message to you is that as you go through this process, do not be so rigid with yourselves. Give yourselves some breaks and also give some time to your friends and family. This is something that I learned from my own mistakes. Secondly, do not give up on your hobbies as you go through this process, and also in my views, you should always ask your doubts and discuss your problems with those whom you trust, because that won't make you smaller or weaker, but it would rather make you stronger and wiser than ever before. So this was my journey. Good luck for yours. Also, please feel free to pass any suggestions for our future videos, and you may ask any doubts that you have regarding your USMLE Step 1 preparation. If you found this video helpful, please press the like button and subscribe to our channel USMLE Insiders. Bye.